Hi, my name is Kate. I'm also known as Two Little Kits, and welcome to my FlossTube. I'm feeling very self-conscious today and I don't really understand why, so bear with me. I've got works in progress to share. I've got something that I want to get off my chest and a finished piece that I can't show you, unfortunately, but let's get started. So I think we will get started with the finished piece and I'll explain why I can't share it properly with you. And that's because it's the bookmark that I had to go in and blur in my previous FlossTube, which I have to say took me such a long time to do, following and like keyframe by keyframe, making sure that it was blurred out was such a pain in the butt to do. I want to show it, but blurred, I guess. So I have it finished and it's been washed and pressed, and I don't know what else to say except, yeah, let me just show you. So I'm going to keep it super still so that it's easy for me to edit, but it's here, it's done, and I can't wait to actually show you this properly, and it'll be soon, I promise. I double checked before I started recording the date that the bookmarks will be released is November the 3rd, which is a Monday, which is 2 weeks away, I think. So my next FlossTube, I might feel comfortable showing it to you properly because I won't release the FlossTube until it's been released anyway. So to remind you of what it is and like why I can't share it with you properly just yet, it's a collaboration between myself and a bunch of other pattern designers, cross-stitch designers. I don't actually know how many designers. I tried to find information on how many have signed up for this volume and I couldn't find information on it, but a previous volume had 27 designers, so hopefully that gives you an idea. But basically we all have a theme, like a literary theme that we're making a bookmark around and releasing it as a collection all together, like a bundle, I guess. Yeah, you'll get a bunch of different bookmark designs if you get the bundle that you can create. So my one was romance, my genre of book. So the piece is super cute. It can be stitched, it doesn't have to be done on black. I will be providing edits that you can make to change the piece to stitch it on white or a light colored fabric. Yeah, the main part of it says happily ever after, which, you know, makes sense for romance books, I guess. Like classic romance. I'm thinking classic, not like smut or anything like that. Just classic romance books. I'll also be providing edits that you can create because the top part of the design has two people and I want to allow you to change the skin color of the people so that it matches what feels right for you. And I'll also be providing a really simple uppercase font that you can change because another part you can add 2 letters. So like I've done mine as mine and my husband's first letter of our first names, for example. So you can change those to be you and your partner as the correct letters. So there'll be a bunch of extras with my pattern and I think it'd just be really cool. Basically. It's the first bookmark design that I've done and I have learnt a bunch. I don't really like how squat mine is. Like it's very short compared to its width. So I definitely want to dabble in making more bookmarks in the future, but now I know that I either need to squish it in or make it taller. And most likely I'll be squishing it in on the sides because I've done mine on 18 count because it is 80 squares tall, and I think it's a good height, especially if you were to do it on 14 count. But yeah, I'm rambling. I wish I could show it to you, but yeah, we've been asked to not share any visuals of our piece just yet until the actual release of the collection. So just know that it's coming, and once the collection period is finished, I'll be listing it on my website. So that will be awesome. I'm gonna look at my phone because I I have my notes on my phone again today. What should we talk about next? We should talk about my latest pattern that's available on my website, which is No Hiding, the K-pop Demon Hunters pattern that I created. I actually have it here, so I will share it again. It's no longer a pre-order, so I have it here, and yes, it's still not out of its frame, out of its dodgy frame, but it's this piece here, and I am obsessed, and it seems like you guys are too, because it has done really well, which is great. I haven't seen anyone stitching it yet, but that's okay. I don't get a lot of tags on my patterns of like works in progress. I do get tagged with finished pieces a bunch, so that's good. That's awesome. I'm really happy with the reception for this piece, and yeah, it's available on my website. And you can also get it on my Etsy store and on my Ko-fi store, and the links for those, if you would prefer to use those platforms, they're on the actual listing on my website as well. There'll be a link in the description for my website where you can then go to Etsy and or Ko-fi if you want to. On that, I shared last FlossTube that I was working on the Saja Boys as a pattern as well, and make it like a little series. I'm very close to being done with that. I really like where it is, basically what I showed you last FlossTube. I like where it's at there. I do want to change a few things with the names themselves. I'm not sure I want to do the names or something else, or even just leave it with the boys themselves. So I would love your feedback below. If you have opinions on that, just let me know, and that would be great. I keep doing thumbs up today. I don't know what's going on with me. On my website, I have done one new blog post. I was doing really well with posting like 1 to 2 times a week on there, and it's definitely dropped off, and that's kind of a bummer because I like having new content on my website. I like to think that it helps SEO. I don't know if it really does or not. Yeah, I do have one post that's new on my site, and it is about the no hiding pattern. It just goes into the pattern itself, and it shows you a little bit of the process that I did while stitching it. I just thought it might be interesting for people to see that. The post itself is called "The Movie My Kids Can't Stop Watching and the Pattern I Had to Stitch Because of It." It also has a link to the video that I took of the pattern, which is on the listing too, but you can look at it on that blog post as well. Before we get into works in progress, there's two other things, sorry. Two other things that I want to talk about that are sort of stitchy related, but not really important, I guess. My nose is itchy again. Why does my nose get itchy when I'm recording? What do you do to me? Anyway, the first thing is I found, again, I actually knew about this shop a while ago because I think I saw someone post on Reddit about one or more of the patterns. Anyway, this store called, let me look it up because I would like to shout them out properly. Oh my god, I'm just gonna go on a tangent for a second because I opened up my Etsy app to find this pattern seller, and I've just found the most offensive attempt at a cross stitch pattern ever. It is just gross. It is clearly made by AI, and I'll take a screenshot and save that. I think I'm gonna make a new list of AI. Oh my god, and they have so many. They're not cross stitch. It's not cross stitch. That is so horrible and gross. Ah! I might need to make a post, a social media post about this. Anyway, let me find the actual seller that I'm looking for. Okay, the shop is TheStitchPatterns, all one word because it's Etsy. Anyway, so that's the shop. I recently bought, because I've got a bunch of Etsy credits because I had to get a refund. I tried to buy something for my anniversary earlier this year and it just never arrived, and I didn't want to pay Etsy to give me a refund because they wanted me to pay money to get the money I paid them put back into my bank account. So I'm like, look, I'll just I'll be buying stuff off Etsy anyway, so I just got credit. So I used that credit and I got 6 patterns from this store, and this store do mini versions, mini like cross-stitch patterns of old famous paintings. And so I should bring it back up and tell you which ones I got. So I got the Great Wave of Kanagawa, sorry, the Starry Night, Sunflowers by Vincent van Gogh. I'm not going to be able to say this one. Nasturtiums in a Blue Vase. It's a piece by Claude Monet. Anemones by Renoir. And I don't think this is the real name. I think they just put it in wrong. I believe the piece is called The White Cat, but they've called it The White Cat on a Yellow Pillow, and it's by Franz Marc. So those 6 pieces I got as mini patterns, and I'm excited to stitch them because I had planned on getting them and then hanging them up in these. This has been a really long tangent, like a long section with many tangents. So in these, which I couldn't get 6 of the same thing, but that's okay. I don't mind these 2 colors together. So this is a gunmetal gray and then a black, but they're the same frame. I will like mix them together. So I'm gonna frame them. They'll fit in with the little mat as well on 14 count too, I believe. I need to double check, but I'll be stitching them just on like a white fabric and framing them in these and then putting them up somewhere in my house. It's not going to be behind me because I've completely run out of room behind me, but somewhere in my house that I can see them and just enjoy them as like a little collection of cross-stitch artwork. So I have that planned just for me and just because. So yeah, I don't think those will take very long to stitch. They're not very big and they don't use a whole bunch of colors. So this here is my book of patterns that I want to eventually stitch. If you want to see what might be in this folder, just go to my website. I'll put a link in the description for my works in progress page because it has all these patterns in there. But like, what's this one? The back one is the White Cat and it uses 11 colors. 11 colors? 12, because the back stitch is a different color. So 12 colors, which is like super simple. And the dimensions are 28 by 37. They're super small. Like I won't hold it up too close, but that's anemones. Like this is really tiny because you can see the lines of where the grid is. So those should be fun to do. My favorite one I'll probably do first, which is the Starry Night. I think that's my favorite painting, which yes, I have the Lego of it and very much enjoyed making that. So anyway, the other thing that I want to talk about that is Stitchy Adjacent, and it is Two Little Kits related, is that I didn't get any ornament orders this year. And I don't really know how to feel about that. I know I'm bummed out, but I guess it's because I wanted to be able to, I wanted to have the tradition to continue, I guess. I don't really know how to put it. The word that keeps coming to mind is facade, and that's not right, because it's not a facade if, like, I'm not trying to, I don't want to keep up a facade. I want to have people think that I'm doing well, but that's because I'm doing well with Two Little Kids. But yeah, I don't know. I am bummed about it. I will likely make up some ornaments and just have something new to share. Like, don't tell my mum, even though she watches this. I might do stuff for the family or something like that. I don't know. I have thought about offering some to my online mothers group that I'm a part of, which I'm sure I've mentioned in the past, but I haven't for a while. So to explain, I've been part of an online mothers group where most of the mothers are in North America. There are a couple in Europe, and there used to be more in Australia, but they all left and I moved away from Australia. So there's only one left in Australia, technically. I am thinking that, like, in the past, I've done a few for them as like a gift. And so I say to the group, like, who would like one of these? You know, just leave a comment or whatever. And then I pick out with a random generator a few of them to make a piece for. So I'm thinking I might do that. Maybe, I don't know. Not having any real orders is a bit of a downer. So I wanted to explain why, like, my works in progress that I'm going to show you don't have any ornaments, and it's already mid-October. It's because I didn't get any. So that's, yeah, that sucks. And it hurts as well. It does hurt, especially knowing that a few people who do stitch portraits that I am friends with, or at least, or that I know of, like, completely sold out of ornaments. They had limited spots available and sold out within like a few hours. So that's smarts, but it is what it is. I didn't push it hard enough, and I think most people follow me not because I make things for them, but because I make patterns that they can then stitch themselves. So that, I mean, that's been an issue that I've had for a while now, that a lot of my following are stitchers. I have tried to work out how to sort of juggle that aspect, I guess. I haven't figured out the correct method of juggling it, I guess. So yeah, I wanted to bring that up. That's all. My phone's gone to sleep. What's next? Ah, I lost it. Come back. And of course my nose is still freaking itchy. My works in progress. Let's talk about those, because that's more exciting than being down and bummed out. The first thing I'm going to show you is my flower meadow, which I am caught up, including today. Here it is. I am 95% certain that I'm going to do another flower DIY cross stitch. I had a suggestion in the comments for last FlossTube of flower forest, and I really like that. So I'm probably going to run with that as the name, unless someone else has another idea of like a wide spread of flowers. I do like flower forest. It doesn't sit like 100% right with me, but it's pretty good. So anyway, this is my flower meadow so far. I'm just going to scratch my nose while I show you. There are a few flowers that I haven't stitched in ages. I was thinking about it when I was stitching yesterday, actually, that I just realized that I was going to go into the stats and look up stuff that I forgot. So I might write myself a note for next FlossTube to do that, because I am a stats nerd. So that's my flower meadow. It's coming along and I'm keeping up and everything is hunky-dory. And I'm still doing thumbs up today. What is going on? What's the next piece? The next one is another flower one. This is Flower Dragon Meadow by Flossie Fox Shop. Part 3 came out since the last FlossTube, and I have struggled, oh my god, struggled with the placement of everything for this one. I don't know why. I'm actually, I think I know why. Not that I don't know why. I think I know why. Because the grid is like disappearing. I don't know how, because it's water soluble. But I folded over the top. So this is the part, this is what it looks like, sorry. So I have finished part 1 and 2 now. And you can see that I've like got some scattered stitches for part 3. So part 3, let me just maneuver this correctly. Part 3 is sort of down here and up. Not all the way up to the top, but like up here. And it's a big blue dragon. I actually didn't look at the info about it. So I'm going to do that because I want to tell you what flower it is. Oh, my nose. Oh, what is going on? Flower dragon. Part 3. It's the sunflower dragon. I got to hurry up. I got to get the kids from the bus and the school and the stuff. Anyway, it's the sunflower dragon and it's a big blue dragon. I will show you something. There we go. So you can kind of see that. So it's a big blue dragon and it's got sunflowers like around its neck and on one of its horns. And there's a cat and 2 foxes, so you know it's a Flossie Fox Shop pattern. And a little butterfly and something with its tail. I don't know. But yeah, it's not what you would expect from a sunflower dragon because it's blue. But it's very cool. I like this pattern a lot. It's very cute. And we're officially halfway through it now. So there is that one. let me put it back. So I haven't done a lot on that one, and you'll understand why in a minute. The next piece is Twigs Tea by Fine Frog Stitching. So I mentioned in my last FlossTube that I had done the part that came out just before I recorded. So the only new thing is this dude up here who is, I can't remember, he's like Wilbur Alson or something like that. And isn't he adorable? He's got little glasses and a bow tie, and I love him very much. So the part before that was the stuff on the table here. And yeah, I finished that very fast. There should be a new part coming out today. I just haven't checked my email. I like how quickly these stitch up. And the colors are just delicious. I should check for the next part because I want to stitch that, which is nice. Like I actively want to stitch that, but then I'm like, I don't have anything else to stitch on it. So it kind of is a tease a little bit. All right, this next piece, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I did work a little bit on it, but I will show it to you anyway, just in case. It is Extraordinary Birds. I am still working on the cassowary down here, but he's pretty close to being done. The eggs as well that are down here. I'm certain that this has been worked on since I last shared it. So yeah, that's Extraordinary Birds by Lola Crow, if I didn't say that. All right, I'm going to show you my last work in progress, and then I'm gonna have to stop recording and chop this up because I gotta do school pickup. Anyway, my last work in progress is the next Zodiac piece, and I've been powering through this because I have to release it next week. So here is Zodiac Scorpio. I'm working on the blues right now because I'm taking a break from the gray. Every time I work on these, I always take a break on the gray, just because gray is boring to stitch in my opinion. Not like, it's weird. White and black are fine, but gray, I get so bored. And it's the same gray. I'll turn this sideways so you can kind of see it in shadow. So the gray that is one strand around it is the same gray that you can see here. That's like a line. And so there's lots of the same gray, and it's just, yeah. Anyway, it's coming along, and I expect I'll be able to keep my promise to myself, if anything, and release it on time. All right, I'm gonna pause this and I'm gonna come back. I'm back. Hi. So I realized that there wasn't really much else to talk about, but I really did need to go to school pickup. So the last thing that I haven't talked about is IRL stuff. Not much happened. The big thing that did happen was my husband went away for a work trip for 3 nights this week that I'm recording. So I was solo parenting. It went really fast, which was nice and unusual, but I dropped him off at the airport on Monday. He came back yesterday evening. Yay! I'm hoping that to make up for it in a way, I can sort of chill a bit over the weekend and get some stitching done or some designing work done or something. I don't know, maybe even just go and hide noodles in the box. So that's what the creaking is. Anyway, or maybe go and hide and just play on my Switch or something. I don't know. The other thing that happened while he was away actually was I took all of our cats to see the vet. They're all fine. They were just getting a regular like checkup done. They didn't even need any vaccinations or anything, but they're all in really good health, which is awesome. Noodle was hilarious. He made like the funniest noises in the car on the way there. Oh my goodness. Milo was very brave, and Zoe was just like, why are we here? What are we doing? I don't want to do this. But anyway, so they did really good, and they're all in good health. Yeah, that was pretty much it. I was trying to find what else has happened in real life stuff to talk about, and I don't really know what happened last week. I was checking my calendar and I didn't take any notes, and so I don't have anything else really to talk about. Oh no, there is something. I remember. I woke up last Saturday, actually, and I woke up at like 4 in the morning, and I was like sleeping on this side because I'm a side sleeper, sleeping on this side, and my ear was in pain, and I thought I must have like put my earbuds in or something, and fallen asleep with them still in. So I'm like trying to get my earbud out because it was hurting. And there's nothing there, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. So I roll over and try to go to sleep on this side, and then the pain shifted in my head. Like, this is bad. So later that morning, when urgent care opened up, I went in and I was like, I think I have an ear infection. Can I get checked, please? Yeah, turns out I had a serious ear infection, and I'm very glad that I didn't wait around and sort of let things get better on their own, because when the doctor, she checked my left ear as like a, this is what it should look like in your ear kind of thing. And then she looked at my right ear and she literally went, whoa, that's an ear infection. Like, okay. So I went on antibiotics, which I'm still on because it's a 10-day course. And they're freaking huge tablets. Oh my God, I hate antibiotics tablets. But I felt better within like 36 hours. So that was good. But that was not a pleasant weekend. Anyway, that I think is everything. I knew there was something. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your feedback and your comments, and for liking and subscribing and doing all those amazing things that help me out, especially with the algorithm and just my warm fuzzies. I appreciate you, and again, thank you. I keep looking around to see if there's something else to say, because I feel like there's one other thing to say, but I should just leave it there. So until next time, I will see you on the internet. Bye.